Kylo fan and welcome to Get Ready, non-spoiler recap of The Mandalorian. I'm here with, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Sol, also known as Han Solo.
And I'm Zack. You can call me Zackley or Zack T after the Jedi.
Nice. So how are you all doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited. We had a solid episode, after last week's banger,
Yeah.
I would say. So yeah, I'm happy. I've watched it a couple times now. Got some notes here.
Nice.
Ready to go.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to give a brief non-spoiler thoughts first, and then we'll go, I don't know if we'll go scene by scene, but we'll go into depth about the episode. Season 2, Chapter 10, The Passenger. So what did you guys think of this episode?
I think that it falls under the same like Godfather 3 or Spider-Man 3, where it's following an amazing episode. Could argue like one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of The Mandalorian so far. So this episode was a solid episode, but it was kind of like my expectation got so high after last week. And it was just like, okay, let me lower my expectation a little. This was still a great episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we're bound to have these types of episodes for sure. I wouldn't say it was a letdown necessarily, because there are, I think if playing a video game, you're doing the main story, there's always those side quests you have to do, and if I non-spoiler thoughts, I think, really good episode. Well, solid episode. I wouldn't say great. I mean, it's definitely not in the top 5 or 6 best episodes, but I think we had some nice Easter eggs thrown in there, some nice really good visuals and creepy, things going on. So I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a filler episode, because I'm sure a lot of things will come back around. It's just a side mission he was doing, and I thought it was pretty cool.
And then we also have Peyton Reed directing this episode. So coming in from the MCU, showing that Disney crossing from MCU to Star Wars and back again.
And he did Ant-Man, correct?
Yeah.
So without getting any spoilers, there was a creature.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all, right? I don't know if that was a connection with, maybe he did Ant-Man. So there was an ant monster, an ant creature in there.
It was definitely an homage.
Yeah.
Ironic. I would call it more ironic than anything else.
I didn't know Peyton Reed was directing it until I saw the credits, and then I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, me too. I felt the same exact way. I thought it was an effort. I thought it was a very solid, good, mouth-watering episode. We had a great episode last week. For me, this was just a palate cleanser. That, okay, we're here, we're doing this small mission, but it's still solid and fun at the same time. And just when you thought maybe Yoda couldn't get any cuter, my God, they found a way.
Yeah, it seems every single episode, they're like, oh, I just want to see Baby Yoda, and then he just says something super cute. They always have to cut to him, and he's looking confused, hungry, without saying anything further about that. They always find a way to just make him cuter, and
100%. And one thing that I think a lot of Star Wars fans enjoyed of season 1 was just how episodic it was. So it was just these small little adventures in this giant galaxy that we know. So it was bringing back where I know there were rumors that it wasn't going to be as episodic this season. And so it was kind of cool that, oh no, it's still going to be episodic. We're still going to have little side missions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. I don't know about you guys, but I like that. I don't need like a heavy in-depth story. Just give me a fun side mission every week and I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't think we need, main plot hammered at our face every single episode. And similar to last season, we had, I think the first two were full main plot, and then you had a couple of side mission episodes, and I'm sure we'll have a couple of those, and then we'll get back we'll see Moff Gideon at some point, I'm sure, later on in the season. I'm sure this guy will come back, pretty soon.
I wouldn't mind seeing after last week. I want to see Timothy Olyphant back.
Yeah,
I love that
100%.
character. I love that character.
What I think is going to happen is similar to, I don't know if you all finished Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, I did.
But it seemed like throughout all 4 of those seasons, the Ghost Crew was kind of meeting all these separate individual people, and then at the end, or they would all come back eventually and form a group.
Right.
I think later down the line, because we even saw it last season, he met Quill and Cara Dune, and then he went back to go get Quill and Cara Dune at the end to form a little team, with Goff, or I forget his name. Creed, Apollo Creed's character. What's his? It's on the tip of my tongue.
My God, yeah, it's escaped me.
Grief Karga.
Yeah.
So they kind of formed a little team at the end. So I'm thinking maybe in the end of one of these, or maybe even in the end of the series, he'll gather like all the friends that he'll go back and get, the Marshal from last episode, and he'll get people from the first season. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of Avengers style. You never know.
Yeah.
Right. So do we want to go into spoiler territory?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me just pull this
I'm ready.
up. And
Here we go. Spoiler time.
Yeah,
It's on Hulu.
no. Wrong one. Whoops.
Wrong one. So if anyone's arachnophobic, this is not the episode for you.
Oh Lord, I know a couple people who are, so I'm just kind of crossing my fingers for them as they, watch this episode.
Let me ask you, did you guys get a Harry Potter vibe? Because I did.
Yeah, I noticed that there was definitely a Harry Potter vibe. I loved how those spiders are actually Ralph McQuarrie designs from the original, and those spiders were also in Rebels. For an episode or 2 or maybe 3. I think they were saying that they, I don't know if it was Filoni or it was one of them, Favreau said that it wasn't the same creature. It was the Ralph McQuarrie one, but it wasn't the same one from Rebels. Okay, so if it's not the same one as Rebels, that makes sense.
Interesting. And I think I heard Filoni was one of the pilots.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Filoni was, when his voice came in, it was like, wait a second. I know that voice.
I wonder if he's going to keep popping up, because I thought last season, whenever he popped up as a pilot, that would just be kind of a one-off.
Hey, he might be the Stan Lee of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He pop up every season.
He might be. He's not happy about it either. In interviews, he's not happy about doing the X-Wing, but he was kind of forced to do it by Favreau, which is funny.
Yeah. Hey, after this, I wouldn't mind seeing Favreau be in charge of Lucasfilm one day. I think he could totally handle it. Yeah,
he needs to kind of take over that. It's like what Kevin Feige did with, Marvel, just kind of be, especially after, I don't hate the sequel trilogy as much as other people, but, they definitely, Favreau, as long as The Mandalorian keeps going the way it's going, he could definitely get his own trilogy or say.
So if we're going to go into the episode further, so we're still on Tatooine at the very beginning.
Right.
And then people start to attack both the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And when Baby Yoda was far away, anytime Baby Yoda started walking away or was away from Din Djarin, I was like, oh no, Baby Yoda, the child must be saved. The child must be saved. Did
you all notice the guy who had the knife to Baby Yoda? He also, it's probably not the same person, because I don't know how he would survive that fall from the jetpack, which was hilarious, by the way. But his creature was also in The Force Awakens. I think bothering Rey. Had a similar black mask face. Same creature. I'm not sure if it was the same character.
And then
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, I was watching it, and as soon as that character popped up, I was like, "That's from Force Awakens." I like how they added that in. Probably not the same character. Maybe we'll get confirmation, but same creature design and everything.
I will say Force Awakens. I have not seen that in probably a year and a half.
Yeah, it's been a while for me also.
Out of the sequel trilogy, I'll be honest, I'm a Last Jedi fan. That's the one I watched the most.
Okay.
Hot take.
Hot take, yeah. Hot take for some people, not hot take for other people. Depends on what side of the internet you're on.
Yeah. I couldn't see that because, I couldn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have Amy Sedaris again, her character, which I want to know how you guys feel about her character, because in season 1, when I was like, she's kind of annoying. And then last episode, I was like, okay, I kind of like her now. In this episode, I was like, I don't know how to feel about her. So how do you guys think she is? How do you feel about her?
I'll be honest, I like her. I don't really remember her from last season. I know she was in it, but I can't remember what she did. But I liked her last episode, and I liked her this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't use her all that much. She's only in about maybe 5 minutes an episode, if that. I think it should bring something entertaining to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's actually kind of refreshing because she doesn't, she's just kind of different. But I think she still fits. She's comical. Like today, or I said today, in this episode, she had a couple of lines where she hinted that she likes her steak medium rare, and Rhodians eat their, well done or whatever. Like, I'm not a Rhodian. So I think her character is refreshing. She's always throwing a joke in there, and she makes me laugh. And she's I like how she's assertive. She kind of she seems like, it's going to be my way or the highway. And, we always need female characters like that. And she's funny. Right. So.
Yeah, I liked her a lot in the last episode. And it was this episode, I was like, I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind about her yet. Hopefully we'll see her some more and I can make up my mind later.
Mm-hmm. Also, I just want to say real quick, whenever he's whenever the Mandalorian is, he's got all the stuff on us and he's going through the desert. Why doesn't he just turn the jetpack on? I mean, I know the jetpack isn't supposed to be for flying distances, but you can probably still get like 500 yards.
Right.
And he has 2 of them. He has his jetpack and Boba's jetpack.
Just go back and forth.
Walk. Yeah, or something like that. I just was confused why he didn't just hop on the jetpack and go to, Mos Eisley or wherever he was going.
Yeah, speaking of getting back to Mos Eisley, we back in the cantina, and we also saw Amy Sedaris' character playing Sabak, which is weird to see Sabak being played by only 2 people, but it was a nice little nod to the Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she did the Idiot's Array move, which is episode title in Rebels that Lando pops up in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When she said she knows a guy who has information, or she said she knows somebody, did you both think, okay, this is where we're going to get Boba Fett. Boba Fett is going to be the one going to go with Mando to find more Mandalorians. Did you guys think that?
That wasn't what popped up in my mind, because I feel like it's just hammered in my brain that we're not going to see Boba Fett for a while. But I did, whenever they attacked him, and whenever those bandits attacked Mandalorian from the speeder, and Mandalorian looked like he was getting beat up, I kind of thought, are these Boba Fett's people trying to get his gear?
That's what I thought too.
Or I was like, maybe Boba Fett's going to help him and try to be on his team. But obviously that didn't happen. But no, that didn't really pop in my mind. That was interesting.
How about you, Saul?
I thought, I was like, is she talking about Boba Fett? I was like, is she talking about Sabine? Is she talking about Bo-Katan? Goes, who is she talking about? And we don't know. She could have been talking about Sabine or Bo-Katan, because next episode they might be the Mandalorians that frog lady husband knows. So we have no idea.
Yeah.
Those we'll find out next episode or
I have a
several episodes
theory.
later.
So later, are we going to do predictions later on? Because I have a theory about what next episode
Go
and
for
how
it.
that's going to. Right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so my theory is in the trailer, they went to, if you all remember, he was on a boat.
Mm-hmm. I
Right?
think the water planet is next episode too.
I think because the frog lady from this episode says, I wish I knew her name. I'm just going to call her Frog Lady. The frog
I
lady.
think they call her Frog Lady in the credits as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I guess that's just her name. Who knows?
Yeah.
So my theory is that's the planet, because Frog Lady says there's only one inhabitable planet for my kind now. We're about to go extinct. Yada, yada, yada. I think that's a planet they go to. They got to get on the boat. She reunites with her husband. And that's whenever he sees that character in the trailer. Sasha Banks. And I think that's going to be Sabine.
I think so too.
Who's, Mandalorian armor. I guess she is a true Mandalorian. I got to rep the Mandalorian gear for this episode.
Hey. Yeah, she was born on Mandalore, and I really want to see Din Djarin interact with her because one, she takes off her helmet as we've seen in Rebels, and two, because her armor is basically graffitied. She's painted all over it. So I really want to see how Din Djarin would react to that as someone who is from Mandalore.
So I think that's my theory. I think that's how that's going to go, but we'll see how it transpires.
Going back to Frog Lady, so that is the person that Amy Sedaris vouches for, but then jokingly is like, oh yeah, I've only known her for about like 10 minutes or something. So this Frog Lady has a little like vat with her, basically her eggs, her children, and she needs to get to her husband so that way he can, in a non-gross way, like inseminate the eggs so that way they can have their children, because otherwise their line would end and their species was going extinct. So how did you guys feel about Baby Yoda, which we've seen him eating frogs in season 1, going and eating some of her eggs? Yeah, he ate frogs in episode 4.
There's a really cute, it's like a blink and you'll miss a scene where, I forget what episode it is, but at Mandalorian, I think he's making a camp, right? And then Baby Yoda hops on a frog, and then the next thing you know, it's like halfway down his throat, and he swallows it. And then in that one episode,
and then later in the episode, in episode 4, he's eating it, and then the kid is like looking at him weird, and then he spits it out.
Yeah, so it's there's a backstory to it, and he loves, I guess, his frogs, And he
loves eating things, anything that comes in an egg.
Whenever that crate dragon was on the rotisserie, he was licking his chops at that too. So, Baby Yoda, he's fierce.
Here's a question. In episode 5, and Empire Strikes Back, when Luke finds Yoda, in that swamp, covered it with frogs, and then Yoda just eating them all the time.
Yoda starts eating Luke's stick that he has. He tries to eat his food, so
maybe this species is just real hungry. They'll eat whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so they're not on the ship. They're leaving. And you see the 2 X-Wings pull up, and it's not to question him, right? In this?
They were asking him, I think it was to put his beacon on, what they were. And he was saying that his ship, because of that it was like with the log, pre-Empire, that he didn't have to put it on. And they were like, no, in this area you do need to put your beacon on. And I don't know if it was to hide that he had Baby Yoda on board, or the Frog Lady, or her. He originally didn't want to put that beacon on, and he eventually does. And what we find out by the end of the episode is that he does have a bounty on his head. The bounty hunter has a bounty on his head, but he also has done some good things for that they let him go. So.
I
It was
just want to stop for a second, and that scene, whenever it's Dave Filoni and the two X-wings are on his sides, and they say switch over to channel 2, and then it's silent for a
I was
solid
like, get out
60
of there.
seconds. And then it just, you're looking over Mandalorian's shoulder, and they get into attack position, you know, like,
Mhm.
and then you see both X-wings just getting there. I thought that was one of the coolest scenes of the series.
That was such a cool moment. And then of
Yeah.
course they had to put a trench run in, which is great.
Yeah. Nice little chase scene. There's always good one of those.
Really
And,
well done, too. And the effects on this show is really great, just overall.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows how many times the Razor Crest is going to get busted. Got busted
Oh,
last
right,
season. It was busted again in this episode. Episode 2 for Mandalorian and the Razor Crest does not work out well for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, too bad Quill's not around on his crew anymore to fix it. He'd have that ship fixed, you know, in a matter of days. But
And if we skipped over to like the very end when they are able to fly off, goes and they have to seal basically the cabin and tell everyone like you need to stay in the cabin area because the rest of the ship is busted, and you just see all of like the flap in the back is open, everything's open, it just like barely flying out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder who's gonna fix it for him. Probably someone on that water planet. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Sabine.
Maybe Sabine.
I got a question for you all.
Okay.
So after that crash land, whenever the X-wings are chasing him, and I remember this shot from the trailer I was really intrigued about, but then it ended up just being that frog lady in the hot spring, you know, on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he was walking in, the Mandalorian was walking into that cave with Baby Yoda in his arm. What did you think? Like, did you all have any theories about what he was going to find in there? Or I kind of thought it was going to be an old Jedi temple, but it ended up just being a spider, you know, nest essentially.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure on what was going to happen, and I was thinking, is this frog lady, is she evil? Like is there a possibility that she's going to turn on the Mandalorian? But then I was thinking, oh wait, no, she wouldn't have been like, oh, you have your duty when. And thinking about like this frog lady, she's pretty smart because she was able to reactivate that droid, which when we see the droid in the recap at the very beginning of the episode from season 1, I was like, wait, how is he going to play into this episode? And then it was just that she reprogrammed him, made sure that he wasn't going to shoot to kill anyone when he started speaking. And so I was like, dang, this frog lady has some skills, some mechanic skills.
Yep.
I kind of thought, now I'm drawing another blank. What the monster in Empire Strikes Back, the one that kidnaps Luke? What was that called again?
Oh, the Wampa?
The Wampa. I thought maybe we would see a Wampa in that ice cave. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been neat. Another, or maybe not exactly a Wampa, but like another, like similar to like the spider, how it's not the exact spider from Rebels,
Right.
but a very similar, probably in the same species, like a cousin of it. That would have been pretty cool. But we ended up getting a crazy monster, which was creepy. This episode started off as, oh, it's the standard Mandalorian episode, you know, and just going through the desert, doing some plot stuff, and then it turns into sci-fi horror, ultra creepy. He ends up walking through spider webs, and it took a turn, but it was cool.
Yeah, I ended up watching it at 3:00 in the morning when it dropped, just because I had happened to be up last week. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm not gonna watch it at 3 a.m. But this time I was actually up for it, so I was like, might as well stay up another hour. What's another hour? And so it is 3:00 in the morning here on the East Coast. It drops. I'm watching the episode. I'm in the dark, and these spiders, which I'm not arachnophobic, but like these are giant spiders, which is pretty terrifying. So in that moment, it was just like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh no, what's gonna happen? And like, you can kind of tell in the back of your mind, okay, Baby Yoda is going to be fine. Mandalorian's going to be fine. They're not going to do anything to these characters. But I was like, is the spiders going to get Frog Lady?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was cool, like, to see her like hopping like a frog for a little bit too, as escaping.
I didn't think Frog Lady was gonna die. I thought they were gonna I thought the spiders were gonna make them like drop the bucket or the canister of eggs, and they were all gonna break and like destroy all our babies, which would have been really sad.
That would have been sad, yeah.
But because I thought there was gonna be something, devastating that happens without killing off like one of the characters, because then she still has to lead him to her husband to find Mandalorians. So I kind of thought the babies were going to die, but luckily that didn't happen.
And luckily Baby Yoda didn't eat all of her babies, because Baby Yoda was chomping on those. And what's funny, one of the cute moments was also when Baby Yoda is like cuddling with the Mandalorian. Man, he was tired, and it makes sense because he had just killed a crate dragon. His speeder broke, so he had to walk all the way to Mos Eisley. This man was exhausted. He needed a nap.
Yeah, and it seemed like if I could give advice to the Mandalorian, I would say don't go to sleep. Every time he sleeps and wakes up this episode, something bad is going on. So he just needs to not sleep at all, and he'll be all right.
And what was funny too is at the very end when Baby Yoda was able to get that one last egg. It's like, oh. Yeah. Mandalorian is not. Din Djarin has fallen asleep again, and Baby Yoda's like just chomping on another egg.
I just wonder if whenever they meet the husband next episode or whichever episode it's going to be, he's going to be like, "We had 20 of these. There's like 14 left. What's going on?"
And you just see Din just stare at Baby Yoda and then say nothing.
Right. Exactly.
Just like chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is there anything more on the episode you guys would like to talk about? Anything that you want to dive deeper? I know you said that Zack, that there were some Easter eggs that you might have wanted to talk about in there.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there were some really cool Easter eggs. Most notably, also, I just want to say this: R2-D2 is probably not in the episode, but I saw R2-D2 in the episode. If you look at one of the X-Wings, Carlton's X-Wing, not Dave Filoni's character, Trapper Wolf, is that his name? That's his character name. But the other X-Wing, whenever he's talking to the Mandalorian, the R2 unit that's in his X-Wing looks exactly identical to R2-D2. I've freeze framed it. I've looked at it. It looks 100% like R2-D2, I swear. And timeline, it could be him, but it's probably not, because he's probably with Luke, somewhere. But so that was one I noticed. We got some Jawas, outside of the cantina. This one, the spiders from Rebels. I'm trying to think. I wish I would have wrote them all down. They're slipping my mind, but. Oh, we had another R5 appearance, similar to last episode. He was with the lady.
I'm glad he found a home.
Yeah. I'm glad he didn't die, whenever he just blew up right there.
So, here's a question for you guys. If we see Boba Fett again, will we have to go back to Tatooine? Could we see him pop up somewhere else?
I personally think it will be on Tatooine when we see him. But, I mean, he could, because if it's been 5 or so years since, he's got sucked into the Sarlacc pit, and he hasn't left Tatooine yet, I don't see why he would now. So I feel like the story is going to pull the Mandalorian back into Tatooine, and then that's when. And I think he might be searching for Boba Fett. He might find out whose armor that is, and then go try to find him, or he might just think he's dead. I think it's going to be intriguing, either way.
And if you look at Tamora Morrison at the very end, Boba Fett at the very end of last episode, he was wearing Tusken Raider stuff in his weapons, Tusken Raider weapons.
Yeah,
so there's
he
a
was.
theory that he was with them fighting the Krayt Dragon as a Tusken Raider. It hasn't been proven correct or not yet. That's just a fan theory at the moment. But
I like that. I like that.
but I can see him something happening and something other than just being falling into the pit goes something else might have happened that he decided, you know what? I'm gonna just stay here. I'm gonna relax with these Tusken Raiders. I'm gonna just do me, stay on Tatooine, and I can see that if he does leave Tatooine, it'll be something where Din Djarin like needs him to.
So you think they're going to pull a Luke Skywalker from episode 7? Like,
I don't think so. I don't think Luke will be in this show. I don't think Leia.
No. I meant like how Luke decided to go to that island and he'll stay there, not leave.
Yeah. I see what you mean now. Yeah, I think he pretty much, that's probably what he's doing. When you fall into a Sarlacc pit, you probably have to rethink your life and why you fell in.
I mean, he might be even angrier now. So, he's never been known as a good character or, whatever. So he might just be pissed off, and just wanted to. And for who knows, he seemed like he was wearing that Tusken Raider gear. So maybe he was he was pretending to be one of the Tusken Raiders, that was fighting with the Mandalorian against that Krayt Dragon. So you never know. It'll be interesting.
And if he's been on Tatooine this whole time, then he knows that his armor was with the Jawas, and then his armor went to Cobb Vanth. So if he wanted his armor back, he could have taken it back that whole time, and he didn't. So there's a reason to why he let Cobb Vanth have his armor. So I would like to figure out. And then the other character that I really want to figure out about, and I think why we'll go back to Tatooine, is Ming-Na Wen's character from episode 5 of season 1, because it was near Mos Eisley, so it probably was Boba Fett, but it could very well have been Cobb Vanth. We don't know yet who walked up to her and what ended up happening to her character.
I think that was 100% Boba Fett, because they never showed whose face or body, and then the spur sound, the infamous Boba Fett spur sound, and then now with the reveal of Boba Fett, I feel like that's 100% him.
And since it was near Mos Eisley, which I think Cobb Vanth has stayed around Mos Pelgo.
Yeah, and so I think Boba Fett got wind of a Mandalorian going around Tatooine, and then so he's been kind of keeping tabs, and now he's slowly starting to catch up to him. So I'm sure later on in the finale, later episodes, we'll see what's going on.
Are we going to see Hey Mando again?
No.
No.
If I can help it, no.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I didn't hate him. I thought he was funny. He was a great character, but I like to laugh at him. I wouldn't mind seeing him.
That was the thing. We were laughing at him, not laughing with him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I guess, is there anything else you guys have? Any other thoughts on this episode?
No. I think in the opener, kind of expressed my feelings on that. It's just a solid episode. Nothing too flashy about it. Nothing. I liked how the jetpack scene was really funny, where the guy who, and that's one of the other Easter eggs, is he appeared in The Force Awakens, that creature. He just flies up to the sky, and then
I'll give you my jetpack for Baby Yoda, and then he just
that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, solid episode. Nothing too crazy or nothing too flashy about it, but as far as the main plot goes, but it's like a stepping stone towards wherever we got to go next. So
and I would be surprised if we end if we start next episode and Frog Lady's not there. So this is kind of like a part one of a two-parter story.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I want to see part two. Yeah, it was good. I had fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's something different, pretty creepy.
yeah. I wanted to ask you guys, not necessarily about this episode, but did both of you see the holiday special trailer?
The Lego one?
Yeah, the Lego
Yeah.
one.
Not yet.
Okay.
That seems fun. When I think it releases on the 17th this month.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely check it out, when in my free time.
Me too.
So it seems like it'll be funny, and it should be, kids should enjoy it. I'll enjoy it, quite frankly. The trailer was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
Yeah,
we should definitely check that out.
I might be doing a reaction to it on another channel, and that's why I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Gotcha. Well, again.
I was gonna say, if you want to end the episode, okay.
Let me wrap it up. Well, again, that will do it for this week of Get 20 recap story. Where can everyone find you? Zack? Maybe you're the...
Go follow my Instagram page at the Star Wars Black Series. That's my best page. Don't worry about Twitter, which is Zack A1394. But yeah, go follow me on Instagram. I have a pretty it's a good community over there. It's fun.
Yeah. So?
You can find me at SoulGovin on Twitter, and you can find me at soul.k.govin on Instagram.
Nice. And you can find me at BenRader2 on Twitter, at BenRader on Facebook. Well, that will do it for this recap. We'll be back next week with episode 3. Very cute. And until next week, may the force be with you.
Always.
Always. Bye, guys.
Bye.